You might think buying an international plane ticket guarantees you a seat on the flight. It doesn't. Your ticket buys you the right to stand in line and ask the Philippine government for permission to leave. That request happens right here, at the immigration checkpoints of airports like NAIA. Under the new Philippine Passport Act, Republic Act 11983, international travel is legally defined as a privilege. Even this passport doesn't belong to you. It is property of the state. When you step up to that glass partition, you have exactly 45 seconds to prove you are traveling for the right reasons. That 45-second window is the primary inspection. If the officer sees any inconsistencies, you are immediately escorted to a secondary inspection, a 15-minute interview that turns dream vacations into airport nightmares. Failing that interview results in a deferred departure, commonly known as offloading. You lose your flight, your hotel bookings, and your travel budget, with zero refunds. Surviving this checkpoint has nothing to do with luck. It comes down to knowing exactly how the immigration officers profile you and matching your documents to their specific rules. The Bureau of Immigration enforces strict directives from the Interagency Council Against Trafficking. Their absolute mandate is to stop human trafficking before a citizen leaves the country. This chart shows the totality of circumstances framework. Officers evaluate the collective weight of your background and documents to form a complete judgment of your travel intent. The three pillars of this framework are your age, your educational background, and your apparent financial capacity. A weakness in one area must be offset by strength in the others. This diagram shows the absolute baseline requirement. You must register on the government's free e-travel system within 72 hours prior to your flight. If your travel records chip out, you get a green QR code. This grants you access to the standard express lane. A red QR code automatically pulls you out of line for a mandatory manual screening by the Bureau of Quarantine. Getting into the express lane is just the first step. Actually passing through it requires identifying which specific traveler profile you fit into and preparing accordingly. Let's start with the most common path, the independent tourist or the corporate sponsor traveler. You are required to present 3 essential items alongside your passport: a confirmed return ticket, your company ID, and a valid certificate of employment, or COE. The officer almost always asks 2 questions: what is your job, and when do you return? Your strategy is precision. Give direct, one-sentence answers that exactly match your COE. Do not over-explain or offer unprompted details. If you present a fake or exaggerated certificate of employment, the system will flag the discrepancy. That triggers immediate offloading. Success in this category relies entirely on proving you have guaranteed economic ties in the Philippines that compel you to fly back. If someone else is paying for your trip, the rules shift entirely. You transfer a heavy legal burden onto your sponsor. You must carry an Affidavit of Support and Guarantee, or AOSG. Here, your sponsor legally promises to cover your expenses and ensure your return. General rules allow sponsorship by relatives up to the 4th civil degree, extending to first cousins. But an AOSG is useless as a printed PDF. It must be officially authenticated with a red ribbon by the Philippine Embassy in your sponsor's country. A major exception is the UAE corridor. The Philippine consulate in Dubai restricts sponsorship to first and second degree relatives only, and the sponsor must prove a minimum monthly salary of 10,000 dirhams. To sponsor a cousin from Dubai, a 3rd or 4th degree relative, your sponsor must use a complex workaround involving a UAE private notary, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Philippine Embassy. If you are sponsored, your verbal answers matter less than your sponsor's bureaucratic preparation. Your paperwork has to be legally flawless. The third profile faces intense anti-trafficking scrutiny, travelers going abroad to visit their foreign partners or fiancés. Before reaching the airport, you must complete the guidance and counseling program from the Commission on Filipinos Overseas, processed through the digital OFCRS app. Missing your digital CFO certificate results in an instant offload, even if you hold a perfectly valid visa. The fourth profile includes all government employees, particularly DepEd teachers and contract of service workers. State workers must secure a formal travel authority. If the trip is official, it must strictly serve the state's interest. For personal travel, DepEd teachers are forbidden from going abroad during school days. You can only get an exemption for a medical emergency or the death or marriage of a close family member. For these specialized profiles, a single missing bureaucratic clearance immediately overrides your personal justification or financial wealth. This red flag scorecard used by the Interagency Council Against Trafficking highlights triggers for secondary inspection. First, a traveler lacking financial proof accompanied by a non-relative foreign national. Second, a first-time flyer heading to a high-risk destination with an unexplained purpose for the trip. When you are at the primary counter, follow the golden behavioral rule. Answer exactly what is asked. Never volunteer unprompted information. Always bring hard copy backups of every single digital file you have. Phones die and airport internet drops. Paper is permanent. Immigration officers are not your enemies. They are executing a rigid, data-driven security protocol designed to keep citizens safe. Successfully navigating Philippine immigration relies entirely on replacing anxiety with ruthless, profile-specific bureaucratic preparation. Know your requirements, prepare the exact documents, and secure your right to board.